Breaker 19, this here is Rubber Duck. You got a copy on Big Ben, come on? Oh yeah, 10-4 Big Ben, for sure, for sure. I got it clean through the flag town, come on? Yeah, the Big Ben 4 there, Big Ben. Yeah, we definitely got the front door, big buddy. Thirsting snakes alive, it looks like we got us a convoy.
It was a dark moon on the 6th of June and the Kenworth pulling logs. Cab of a pig with a reefer on and a Jimmy hauling hogs. We was heading for Bear on I-10 about a mile out of Shaky Town. I said, Big Ben, this is Rubber Duck, and I'm about to put the hammer down.
'Cause we got a little old convoy rocking through the night. Yeah, we got a little old convoy, ain't she a beautiful sight? Come on and join our convoy, ain't nothing gonna get in our way. We're gonna roll this trucking convoy across the USA.
By the time we got into Tulsa town, we had 85 trucks in all. But there was a roadblock up on the clover leaf, and the bears was wall to wall. Yeah, them smokers as thick as bugs on the bumper, they even had a bear in the air. I says, calling all trucks, this here's the duck, we're about to go hunting bear.
'Cause we got a great big convoy rocking through the night. Yes, we got a great big convoy, ain't she a beautiful sight? Come on and join our convoy, ain't nothing gonna get in our way. We're gonna roll this trucking convoy across the USA. Convoy.
Alright, you wanna give me a 10-9 on that, Big Ben? Negatory, Big Ben, you're still too close. You're hurrying and starting to close up my sinuses. For mercy's sake, you better back off another 10.
Well, we rolled up Interstate 44 like a rocket slid on rails. We tore up all our swindle sheets and left them sitting on the scales. By the time we hit that Chi-Town, those bears were getting smart. They brought up some reinforcements from the Illinois National Guard. There's armored cars and tanks and jeeps and rigs of every size. Yeah, them chicken coops was full of bears and choppers filled the skies. Where we shot a line and went for broke with 1,000 screaming trucks. 11 long-haired friends of Jesus in a chartreuse microbus.
Hey, Rubber Duck, you soft buster. Come over the F-10-4, soft buster. Listen, you want to put that microbus in behind the suicide jockey? He called dynamite. He needs all the help he can get.
Well, we laid a strip for the Jersey show and we prepared to cross the line. I could see the bridge was lined with bears, but I didn't have a doggone dime. I said, Big Ben, this is the Rubber Duck. We just ain't gonna pay no toll. We crashed the gate doing 98. I said, let them truckers roll 10-4.
'Cause we got a mighty convoy rocking through the night. Yeah, we got a mighty convoy, ain't she a beautiful sight? Come on and join our convoy, ain't nothing gonna get in our way. We're gonna roll this trucking convoy across the USA. Convoy.
10-4, Big Ben, watch your 20. Omaha, we won't be getting that there for sure. For mercy's sakes, good buddy, we're gonna back off out there, so keep your buttons off your glass and the mirrors off your tails. We'll catch you on the flip off. This is the Rubber Duck on the side. We're gone. Bye-bye.
She was born one morning on the San Juan summer back in 1881. She was a beautiful daughter of a DNRG, and she weighed about 1,000 tons. Was a 45-mile to the Animus Canyon in the center of a narrow gauge. Drank a whole lot of water and she ate a lot of coal, and the coal of the Silverton.
Silverton train, here comes the Silverton up from Durango. Here comes the Silverton shoveling coal. Here comes the Silverton up from the canyon. See the smoke and hear the whistle blow.
Well, now listen to the whistle and the rockwood code on the highline of Silverton town. And you're gonna get a shiver when you check out the river at 400 feet straight down. Tick on some water up a needle down tank and then struggle up a 2-5 grade. And by the time you get your hat past the snow shed slide, you gotta ride on the Silverton.
Silverton train, here comes the Silverton up from Durango. Here comes the Silverton shoveling coal. Here comes the Silverton up from the canyon. See the smoke and hear the whistle blow.
all got a ticket on the train yesterday, and it's gonna leave on time. Well, it's a 45 mile up the Animus Canyon, and they run her on a narrow gauge. She takes a whole lot of water, and she needs a lot of coal, and the coal of the Silverton.
Silverton train. Here comes the Silverton up from the rainbow. Here comes the Silverton shuffling coal. Here comes the Silverton up from the canyon. Feel the spark and hear the whistle blow. Here comes the Silverton up from the rainbow. Here comes the Silverton shuffling coal. Here comes the Silverton up from the canyon. Feel the spark and hear the whistle blow. Here comes the Silverton up from the rainbow. Here comes the Silverton shuffling coal. Here comes the Silverton up from the canyon. Feel the spark.
I was summing through the want ads in the Shelton County Tribune when this classified advertisement caught my eye. It said, take immediate delivery on this 57 Chevrolet half-ton pickup truck. We'll sell a swap for a hide of a bit and $35. Call 140, ring 2 and ask for Bob. Well, I called Bob up on the telephone. He said, hello, this is Bob speaking. I says, is this here the Bob that got the pickup truck for sale? He says, yeah. I says, where are you? He says, 14 East on County 12. Turn right on the one-lane gravel road. You can park in the yard. Beware of the dog. Wipe your feet, knock 3 times, and bring your billboard. Well, a tool on the east on County 12 turned right on the one-lane gravel road, and I parked in the yard, and the German Shepherd came out and grabbed hold of my leg. And I knocked 3 times and wiped my feet, and the dog let go and screamed out. Then Bob came out and said, what do you want? Says, come to see your truck. He said, follow me. Come on, Frank. Dog's name was Frank. Well, we all went past the chicken house, through the hog pen, down the tractor shed, then wound up back at the barn in a field of cow pies. And sitting right there in a pool of grease was a half-ton Chevy pickup truck with a 1960 license plate, a bumper sticker says vote for Dick, and a brittle box full of rusty parts. And Bob says, what do you think? Well, I kicked the tire, then got on the seat and sat on a petrified apple core and found a bunch of field mice living in the glove compartment. He says the shaft is bent and the rear end leaks. You can fix it quick with an oily rag. Use a nail to start or I lost the key. Don't pay no mind to that whirring sound. You use a little oil, but outside of that, she's cherry. I says, what'll it take? He says, what do you got? I got $28.15. He says, you got a deal, sign here. I'll go get the titles and a can full of gas. I put the nail in the slot and fired her up. She coughed and belched up a bunch of smoke, and I backed her right through the hog pen into the yard. Well, Frank jumped in and bit my leg, and I beat him off with a crowbar. He jumped on out, and the door fell off, and the left front tire went flat. I jacked it up and patched the tube, and Frank tore a piece of my shirt off. And Bob came out and called him off. He says, you better get on out of here. I went left on the one-lane gravel road, went 14 west on County 12, took 2 full quarts of 40 wet oil just to get it to the Convoy station. I pulled up to the regular plot, then Harold Sachs and his kid came out, says, I seen better stuff in the junkyard. Where'd you ever get that truck? I said, that's a long story, Harold. I was summing through the want ads in the Shelton County Tribune when this classified advertisement caught my eye. It said, take immediate delivery on this 57 Chevrolet half-ton pickup truck. We'll sell a swap for the hide of Well, I was on my way to Denver, trucking 30 tons of gas, when I saw some kind of fuss 50 yards ahead. There was 2 trucks pulled in on the edge of the highway, and a bear writing tickets galore. Man, I got on the air, gotta warn the boys ahead, 'cause we got some real trouble in store.
If you're rolling into Denver, got a bear stopping us 2 at a time. The nerve of that guy, come on. Must be after promotion. Watch your speed now, boys. Just passing me now. Mean bear's on the prowl again.
Well, the bear blew by, leaving me on my own, and I put him out of my mind for a while. Me and my truck, we were eating up the road, taking only a minute a mile. Now I'm thinking about my girl in Denver when I hear a sound that I know. It's a bear in pursuit, and he's pursuing me. Where did he come from?
We've been trying to raise you, come on. Ain't no sign of that mean bear. appreciate the warning, but he just ain't around. He's probably stopping some guy right now on the other side of town. Hey, Rubber Duck. Trying to raise your man, come on. Ain't no sign of that bear anywhere.
Car 67, where are you? Come in, 6767, can you hear me?
Control, this is 6-7 here. I can hear you loud and I can hear you clear. Control, this is 6-7 here. I can hear you loud and I can hear you clear.
Good morning, 67, good morning. Bit of a late start, isn't it?
Is there something that you want me to do?
Yes,
Yes,
we have a job for you.
you know I'm only here to please you.
Want you to pick up a young lady at 83 Royal Gardens.
Control, have mercy on me. I don't wanna do the pickup. Isn't anybody else free? Stuck in the jam in a one-way street. Why don't you tell her she'll be quicker if she uses a beat? Yeah,
You must be joking, 67. Now, come on, I must have a time for the pickup.
the best that I can do is tell you tomorrow. Yeah, 'cause if I do the job, it's gonna cause me sorrow.
Now, really, 67, you put me in a bad position here. It's too bad, too bad. I must have a time for the pickup. What's your problem? What's wrong, 67?
Tell you the truth, I had a bad, bad night. My girl left home in the middle of a fight.
Sorry about that, 67. Sorry to hear that.
Control, have a mercy on me. I don't wanna do the pickup at number 83. Yeah, the girl of my dreams left me all alone. Number 83 is where she made her home.
Uh-huh. I see, 67. I understand your problem.
Is there something else you want me to do? Yeah.
Yes, may I have another job for you,
You
67?
know I'm only here to please you.
Stand by, all cars, stand by. Time for a pickup at 83 Royal Gardens. First call for 83 Royal Gardens. Somebody give me a time for a pickup. Stand by, 67. I'll have another job for you shortly. Calling all cars, calling all cars. Time for a pickup at 83 Royal Gardens. First call for 83 Royal Gardens. Somebody give me a time. Can you do it fast?
Well, it was going real well with a motor running swell, 48 miles to roll. Trucking down the highway with nothing up ahead but an empty, dusty road. I was feeling kind of thirsty and my mouth was real dry as I reached out a hand for my flask. It was empty, RG didn't fill her up, no matter rubber dogs coming to town.
Rubber ducks coming to town with a thirst that's a mighty hard to satisfy. Rubber ducks coming to town and he's gonna drink a couple of bars bone dry. Get out of his way when he gets to the bar with his patience all wound down. Be a wild night in town, alright, when Rubber Duck comes to town.
Now it's a mighty dry stretch I got left to roll with no place to quench my thirst. I stepped on the gas, 85, 90, motor roaring, fit to burst. I was eating up the miles between me and town and the bar I decided to drain. Then around the next bend was a real slow bear. I hit the brake and got back in my lane.
Rubber Duck's coming to town with a thirst that's a mighty hard to satisfy. Rubber Duck's coming to town and he's gonna drink a couple of bars bone dry. Get out of his way when he gets to the bar with his patience all wound down. Gonna be a wild night in town, alright, when Rubber Duck comes to town.
Well, I followed that bear doing 50 miles per hour, praying that he'd turn around. There were 30 miles to go and we were rolling so slow I thought I was crazy bound. I see a trail of smoke from his near side tire, and the bear's got a blowout real fine. So I powered on through like a thirst-crazy camel. Rubber Duck was gonna make it on time.
Rubber Duck's coming to town with a thirst that's a mighty hard to satisfy. Rubber Duck's coming to town and he's gonna drink a couple of bars bone dry. Get out of his way when he gets to the bar with his patience all wound down. Gonna be a wild night in town, alright, when Rubber Duck comes to town. Rubber Duck's coming to town with a thirst that's a mighty hard to satisfy. Rubber Duck's coming to town and he's gonna drink a couple of bars bone dry. Get out of his way when he gets to the bar with his patience all wound down. Gonna be a wild night in town, alright, when Rubber Duck comes to town. Rubber Duck's coming to town with a thirst that's a mighty hard to satisfy. Rubber Duck's
about now, friend, till they dam your favorite river, and you can water ski just one more reservoir. And then supersonic ships are gonna take you across a sea of pavement to one more faceless brickyard on the shore. Yeah, and it's only gonna be about now, son, till they rip off all your mannings, boy, and that one last tired old eagle back to sand. And all that high and mighty scenery is gonna be leveled to the ground, boy, by a bunch of them minor strip mines on the land.
when you hear the night wind sigh and you see the wild goose flying through the great polluted sky. There won't be no country music, there won't be no rock and roll. So when they take away our country, they'll take away our soul.
Well, it's only gonna take about a minute or so till the junkyards fill the prairies, boy, and them smoking yellow grass fires start to burn. And the warnings on them beer cans gonna be buried in them landfills. No deposit, no sad songs, and no return. Yeah, and it's only gonna take about a minute or so till the factories block out the sun, and you're gonna have to turn your lights on just to see. And them lights are gonna be neon saying, fly our jets to paradise, and the whole damn world is gonna be made of styrene.
So listen well, my brothers, when you hear the night wind sigh and you see the wild goose flying through the great polluted sky. There won't be no country music, there won't be no rock and roll. Just when they take away our country, they'll take away our soul.
Yeah, and it's only gonna be about a second, boy, till they take away all of this country, and they'll tell you not to listen to this here song. And that far-off sound of freedom is gonna be an echo from the past, and the final tune is gonna be sad and long. Yeah, and it's only gonna be an hour-wing boy till they pull out the world of blindness, so we just can't read all the messages on the wall. But the only words that matter ought to be sprinkled all over that billboard in big old black and bloody letters, 10 feet tall.
There won't be no country music, there won't be no rock and roll. 'Cause when they take away our country, they'll take away our soul. There won't be no country music, there won't be no rock and roll. 'Cause when they take away our country, they'll take away our soul. There won't be no country music, there won't be no rock and roll. 'Cause when they take away our country, they'll take away our soul. There won't be no country music, there won't be no rock and roll. 'Cause when they take away our country, they'll take away our soul. When they take away our country, they'll take away our soul.
One day about 4 or 5 years ago, we were sitting at the Carnival station, kicking tires and swatting flies and discussing the State of the Union, when right out in front of the Baptist church came a big old purple school bus. It had astrological signs upon it and 35 hippies and dogs inside. About half of them went for the courthouse lawn, and dogs commenced on the fire plug. The rest of them sat there staring at us. He says, Roy, go get your flick gun. He says, which is the hippies and which is the dogs? I says, beats the hell out of me, Roy. What there was a bunch of them crispy critters, and the leader was a space cadet. He says,
Sagittarius, we has arrived, prepared to disembark, man. Get the incense going and the cigar out. We're gonna camp in the city park, man.
I says, boy, let me explain the situation to you. A, you're getting me down, and B, you got a least law here, and C, you're in the wrong town. You drop one string of beads in that there park, and you're gonna see a whole lot of stars. You got 15 seconds to get out of town, boys, and we're gonna blow you to Mars. Well, they all got back in the purple bus and proceeded to the city limit. Now the telephone rang, it was a swimming pool. Says a mess of wild critters was in it. So we all got in the Marshal's Plymouth, which is always at the carnival station. Went flashing on down to the swimming pool, gave them critters a citation. By the time we arrived, it's too damn late. Them critters is all out their pants down. Them dogs is tearing the bathhouse apart there after the fish in the fish pond. I said, Roy, you get the one in the silver t-shirt and I'll get the rest with a net. We're gonna have a jail full of naked crispy critters and a drip dry space cadet. Critters outnumbered us, so they moved in and set up camp and lived in that purple school bus. 6 weeks later, there was nothing in town but 84 dogs and a head shop, selling dried up weeds and sunflower seeds and astrological postcards. Them critters took over the city council. The dogs will bark their brains out, and the whole damn town is crispy critters, and the mayor was a space cadet. A nice little town down in good old Arkansas, where a trucking man can get a nice bite to eat for $1.50 or more. Well, service is good, pretty too. They make a man feel really at home. I always make sure when in Arkansas I get to eat at this nice little place. It's a trucking man type motel. They're really proud of everything they sell. When you're in that town, you needn't fool around. There ain't no other place to go. It's a trucking man type motel, like no other place I've heard of. Well, they got the best beers and burgers for miles around. It's a trucking type man's motel. I was in one night, a guy started a fight, a bit of good old sock and roll. And there was bodies flying all over the place, it was all happening. There was truckers flying left and truckers flying right, and gradually all became clear. A waitress serving bells from a rolling pin instead of coffees, burgers and beers. It's a trucking man type motel. They're really proud of everything they sell. When you're in that town, you needn't fool around. There ain't no other place to go. It's a trucking man type motel, like no other place I've heard of. Well, they got the best beers and burgers for miles around. It's a trucking man type motel. Yeah, this nice little place, a nice little town down in good old Arkansas, where a trucking man could get a nice bite to eat for $1.50 or more. Where the service is good and pretty too. They really make a man feel at home. I always make sure when in Arkansas I get to eat at this nice little place. It's a trucking man type motel. They're really proud of everything they sell. When you're in that town, you needn't fool around. There ain't no other place to go. It's a trucking man type motel, like no other place I've heard of. Well, they got the best beers and burgers for miles around. 80, we was cutting the fog, just me and old Sloan. Old Sloan's my dog, and we had an 18-wheel with 10 on the floor and stereo laying the strip. Now we spied a sign that said heat gas now. We decided to whip in and pick up some chow at the old home filler up and keep on trucking cafe.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking. Oh, the old home filler up.
I'm looking for Mavis.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking cafe.
Now I've been every place between here and South Sioux, and we'd seen other trucks stop and wait for sure too. But this girl's built like a build-up bag of full bobcat. She's got it together. Well, she filled my tank, and I said, "Thank you, honey. Her name's Mavis," and I gave her the money. Old Sloan just sat there watching the wagon and wishing. I says, "You're waiting the truck, boy." Then I went inside. She said, "What'll it be?" I said, "A cup of your best and a number 3. She came back with an order to go and get a hot seat and a bone for Sloan. I said, "Much obliged." Old Sloan gave a bark. I left her a buck and he left his heart at the old home filler up. Keep on trucking cafe.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking cafe.
Well, Saturday night and we was trucking along, and me and old Sloan wasn't getting it on. I said, "Sloan, I've been thinking of getting up the courage, and tonight's the night." Well, I parked the gloves, gave Tranny a spin, took the Booby Town Ram and slid right into the old home and filler up. Keep on trucking cafe.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking. Oh, the old home filler
It
up.
never closes.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking cafe.
Well, I got me a stool, took a load off my shoes, made Mavis an offer she couldn't refuse. I said, "How'd you like to go for a ride with me and old Sloan? I've just had my truck watered." She laughed and said it sounded like a whole lot of fun, but we was gonna have to wait until the dishes was done, and it was all right with me if she brought along her mother as a chaperone. I said, "Why not?" Well, we gave her that tranny into super low, and the 4 of us went to see a picture show. Yeah, I took them to the drive-in theater over at Pistons to see True Grit. Saw the Late Show. Sloan hit the sack, and then along about 2 o'clock I hauled them all back to the old home and filler up and keep on trucking cafe.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking cafe. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on trucking cafe.
They got a real nice place there.